I wanted to do something with these fuel lines. Um, I remember noticing when I took them off that they're showing some wear. I don't know if you guys can really see that very well, but when you flex them, you can see lots of cracking opening up. Now actually they're pretty thick, and it's hard to tell if this cracking is superficial or not. But it worries me a little bit because the last thing you want is one of these. These are under some amount of pressure. You don't really want your fuel line to start spraying gasoline on your hot engine. That's obviously going to be the end of your car. So it's probably worth replacing them. And who knows what the rest of the fuel lines on the car look like. Probably not much better. But these are the ones I can see. So I looked online just for reference. These are the ones that came on the motor that I got from LKQ that were just cut off back here. But this is the same piece. So they go, let's see what you can see here. Yeah, you can see. So they just come back to here. So they only cut off, 3 or 4 inches of these. I looked up this. There's a part number on here and everything, hopefully. So I looked up this part number, and just this little piece of hose as a part costs $120. I thought about, well, I'll just order a new one, but gosh, for $120, that's a lot. So my options were, maybe this one's not so bad, order one for $120, or just kind of replace this with fuel line. So I got some of that, just some fuel line from the local parts shop. This stuff's only, this is a couple bucks a foot, so this is like $10 worth of hose maybe. And there are some bends in this, but they're not too severe. I think that this hose could just be used. There's another couple of things on here. I guess this is some kind of protection from any exhaust heat, because that's on back here by the exhaust, and then it's got some heat shrink just to sort of hold it together, I suppose. So I thought I would give a shot of basically making this with new hose, and if it works, great, and if it looks like crap and it's not really working, then I'll go to plan B. Okay, so I got this one off the car. This end has these two quick disconnects. It took me a while to figure these out, but this is like a button back here. Oh, I got. So you kind of push this, and then they slip off. I just got them out of the old hose. They had these kind of pseudo permanent clamps on that don't really have ears to grab. I was able to get this one with a pair of wire cutters, but this one didn't survive the procedure. I thought I would just replace them with these clamps from the other side. So I was just kind of laying out how this would go. This one, if you look on here, this one used to, kind of still does, has a little blue arrow. And this one has a white arrow. So this was the return side. This is the supply side. I wonder if I have blue. Actually, got a little bit of this blue tape left. Maybe it's enough. I'm just gonna use these clamps that I got off the other one back here instead of those little permanent ones. I don't know if there's any difference. Let's hope not. All right. On this end, again, we got a blue connector. I really don't want you to mess these up. Color coded. White one. Okay. Let's go back over here. Let's do blue first. Blue one goes right here. It's a little shorter. I think it should just click on. Its little connector over here is also blue. Click. And this one. Click. And these come across. Do they go through this? Probably. We'll hold her here. I happen to remember that blue's on the bottom. Here comes the rain. I hear it. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. Seems good. This hose, this stuff is still pliable, and that other stuff was getting stiff and cracky. A little bit concerned about the shape of these connectors back here. This is also just plastic, and once you start popping that stuff on and off, you never know. Okay, I got all my fluids here: oil, antifreeze, gear oil for the transmission. So I thought that right now what I would do is put the oil in the transmission, because at the let's see where we at, the fill holes right here. It's kind of hard to get to, but since there's nothing on the motor right now, this is going to be the best time. I think it takes this big old 17. Let me get you a little better view here. Hang on. Okay, so it's right here. It takes this, I think it takes this big old 17. Yeah. Whoa! You guys okay? That was tight. You with me? There we go. I was looking for a torque spec on these plugs when I put in the drain plug, and I couldn't really find one, so I just went with tight. But boy, this one was tight. Maybe it was just stuck. I don't know. All right, the book says that it takes 2.1 quarts of a synthetic 75 W90 gear oil, so I'm going to use this one. Valvoline, not a sponsor. I'm thinking 2 quarts is going to be enough. They're just going to have to be short 0.1 quarts. And I'm hoping that I can just kind of use this bottle to squirt it in the hole there. because I don't have any other way. But I do need to get the whole thing in there, so it could be a challenge. Here we go. Yeah, this isn't really going to work. You know what I need? Some kind of tubing. All right, here's what I found. This piece of tube. Seems about perfect. I wish it was a little cleaner, but I think it's okay. I blew it out, ran a towel down it. Hopefully it just looks dirtier than it really is. Now, where did I put that oil? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. I don't see anything coming out on the ground. That's a good sign. Okay, 2 quarts. Should be good to go. Oh, the smell of gear oil. Reminds me of like a old train station or something. Very distinct smell. Okay. The time has come to reattach the AC compressor and power steering pumps. So I've got my bag here with all my notes, so that's helpful. I got my bolt, my upper compressor bolt taped on here because I need to remember that that's got to be in the compressor when I put it up into position. So I'm just going to put these back in and tighten them up, and I'll get back to you when that's done. All right, AC compressor, power steering pump are back on. Little clip there. So I need to reattach the pressure hoses to the transmission and stuff, but I think I'll wait until I get this back on. But I can do the belt, so I think the next thing is the drive belt. All right, this should be pretty straightforward. I've got just a reminder here in the book for the belt routing. Got my belt here, and I did mark direction. They talk about that a lot in the book. They don't really say why that's important, but I think if you put it on backwards, it has a tendency to chirp and squeak more. I don't really know why, but we will put it back on the way it came off. Kitty. Yeah. Also, I seem to, somewhere along the line, like a week ago, I misplaced my little magnetic flashlight. I don't know where it is. I keep thinking it's going to turn up, but it hasn't. So I'm hoping it's not stuck in the engine compartment somewhere underneath the engine. I don't know. But let me know if you guys see it, because I need it. All right, I struggled with this a little more than I remember last time, but I finally got it on. Check it out. So I was just checking that it's on each pulley where it's supposed to be, and then all I got to do is remove my tensioner bolt here that's holding the tensioner off, and everything should come tight. All right, everybody, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Got basically all the engine components back on, except for the intake, which I'll do kind of last. I think just today I'm gonna finish up by doing some of the wiring, routing some of the wiring over, and then I'll be waiting for that shifter to come in. I can't really do a whole lot more until I get the shift linkage all set up. So I'll get back to you guys when those parts arrive. Thanks for watching. I think this is a good break point. You know what? Cut all that.